we talked about some variables, right? Auto variable, static variable, extern variable, register variable. So let's take a demonstration of them. So let's start with what an auto variable is. Okay. So auto variable, you can see my screen, right? Auto.c, you can see this, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, um, so all the variables which we have considered, I mean, before this, are all basic. I mean, the variables considered within a function are all basically auto variables. So this particular keyword auto is not required. If you basically remove this, still that is going to work. So any variable, if you don't mention anything, it will be an auto variable. Okay. So auto variable is basically a local variable, and the scope of the variable is within the function. It is declared and initialized, of course. So the moment you go out of this function, the variable is destroyed. The variable is no more accessible. So let's take this example. So this is an integer type variable initialized to 5, and I'm printing its value here, right? So it will access this particular variable, and I have written two more functions. Apart from main, there are two more functions. So it doesn't take any argument, and it doesn't basically return any argument. Okay. So here inside this, I have declared and initialized another variable. So keep this in mind that although both are vars, the name of the variable in main is var, and in function one they are I mean it is var, same, the name is same, but they are two different variables, because as I told you, this var is not accessible to function one, and this var is not accessible to main. So there are two different variables, and two different memory locations are allocated for these two. So name is not very important, address is important. Okay. So here I initialize another variable, and the scope of this variable is within this function only. So before this or after this, this variable is not accessible. So I print the value of this function, the value of this variable here, and I define another function, and in that function I declare and initialize another variable of the same name var, but its value is different. So you see that the values of these three variables are different. It is 5 in main, 1 in function 1, and 2 in function 2, right? So let's try to print the values of these three variables by printf. So this will be the value printed within main. When I call this function, function 1, this function will be called main. I am calling this function function 1, okay, and I'm printing the value of variable var, and I also and also I'm calling function 2, and within function 2 I'm printing the value of variable var. Okay, now let me execute this. Sorry, I'm first compiling it, and then I'm executing this. So if you can see the output, value in function main is 5. As you can see that within function main, the value of the variable is 5. In function 1, the value is 1, because this variable is the value of variable var is 1 in function 1, so that is getting printed. So you see that when I am writing var, it is not accessing the var of main or function 2, because in function 2 also there is a var. When I am printing in function 2, 2 is printed. So it is not accessing the variables in function 1 or in main. So that was about this local variable, or basically auto variable. So by default it is an auto variable. If I explicitly mention that it is an auto variable, then it won't make any difference in execution. The result will be the same. Let me try to do that. Same will happen. Value in main is 5, value in function 1 is 1, and value in function 2 is 2. Okay. So next, let us consider not this one. So this was about a local variable or an auto variable. I just showed you this example. So for implicit declaration it works. For explicit declaration, that is, you mention the keyword auto, the result will be the same. Okay. Now let's consider another example where you see that so I mentioned that the scope of auto variable is local to a function and also a block. So what is a block? So let me open this once again. So block is something like this. So block is, you put anything in curl bracket. So this is the beginning of the curl bracket, this is the end of the curl bracket. This becomes a block. And a variable, basically an auto variable, or basically you can also call it a local variable, that is defined and its scope is restricted to a block only. So let's take this example. So this is one block. So this is a comment. This is block 1, and inside block 1 I'm printing the value of var, and I create another block 2, and I print the value of var in block 2, and then I create another block 3, and I print the value of var in block 3. I have also printed its value outside all the blocks but inside main, and there is only one declaration. Okay, that is outside everything. So that is basically in main, and that is outside of all the blocks. Let's see what happens. So you see the value is always 5. So in main it is 5, in block 1 it is 5, in block 2 it is 5, block 3 it is 5, because it is declared in main. So it is within the scope of main. So it is outside all the blocks, right? So it is accessible from all the blocks. So in block 1, this variable is accessed. Block 2, this variable is accessed. In block 3, the same variable is accessed. So naturally, if the variable is the same, the value is also going to be the same. Okay, but let's try something different. Here I do a trick. What is the trick? I keep this variable var equals to 5, and I print its value in main. But in block 1, I declare another variable. So variable of the same name, but it is in block 1 and its value is 6. So this var is not this var. It's different, right? And I print its value in block 1. Then I declare in block 2. In block 2, I declare a variable 7, variable var, and its value I assign 7, and I print this. Then finally in block 3, there is another variable declaration and initialization. The name of the variable is same, but the value is different, and I print this in block 3. Okay, then when I come out of block 3, I'm in block 2, right? This is outside block 3, so it is in block 2. In block 2, I'm printing its value. Then I come out of block 2, this is end of block 2, right? Now I'm in block 1. So I'm printing its value in block 1. Then I come out of all the blocks. So I've come out of block 1 also. And I print it, print its value. So it is now in main. It is outside all the internal blocks. Okay. Let's run this code. So pay careful attention to what is happening. First, it is printing the value in main, but inside block 1, I have declared another variable of the same name. Its value is 6, and I print the value of var. So now it is 6, right? So value in block 1 is 6. Then inside block 2, I declare another variable var, and I set its value to 7, and I print its value here. So in block 2, its value is 7. Similarly, in block 3, I initialize it. I declare and initialize it to 8, and I print it. Then I come out of block 3. In block 2 again, it is 7, because in block 3 it is block 2 it is 7, right? Then I come out of block 2. So I'm in block 1 now. This is block 1. So value in block 1 is 6. You see, value in block 1 is 6. Then I come out of block 1 also, and I print it again. So I'm in main again. So in main, what was its value? What was the value of the variable? 5, right? 5. So when I'm in main again, outside all the internal blocks, I get the value of 5. So what is happening? So within main, this variable, so one variable is created in the memory. So it is this variable. In block 1, another variable is created. So don't be confused by the fact that they bear the same name. Name doesn't make any difference as long as they are different variables. So these are different. Memories are allocated for these. It's not that this variable is getting changed to 6. Okay. Okay, let me try to do one thing. Okay, I don't know whether it will be nice to do. Okay, let me try one small trick. Let me see if this works. Let me see if this works. Okay, let me repeat this. This is something I have never done before, so let's see what happens. It just occurred to me, there is no harm in doing this. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yes. You see, what I have done the printed the addresses of the variables. So in main, you see that value in main is 5 and the address is this. This is the memory location. I mean, this is the starting memory location of the variable where, which is in main and outside all the blocks. You see, address is 2358860, and when I print the same value in main again, it's the same address. Then in block 1, the variable is where, but the address is different. 2358856. Okay. And same in block 1, the same address. You see, these two are same addresses. In block 2, these two variables. So this where has this address, and the where in block 3 has this address. So you see, this is very important to note that although they bear the same name, where they are actually different variables stored at different memory addresses. Okay, so this is where in main, this is where in block 1, this is where in block 2, and this is where in block 3. They're all different. So what? So for integer, I think in this compiler, the address, so the size of an integer or the number of bytes taken by integer is 4. So if you can see that the allocation is also here contiguous. So this is a starting address, right? So whenever you are telling the compiler, when you are writing this line int where, okay, then the compiler looks for a piece of memory that is in this case for an integer that will be of 4 bytes, right? So whenever it finds 4 bytes, 4 continuous bytes, it allocates that to the variable. So where doesn't make any sense to the compiler. So in this case, so to the compiler, where in main is 2358860. So the compiler identifies where in main by this number. That is why it is not confused, you see, because in block 1 the name is where, because but the compiler is not confused by that. So the name doesn't make any difference to the compiler. So they have different address locations. So they are different variables to them. So it wouldn't have mattered if the names of the variables were var1, var2, var3. It's all the same to the compiler. It is for you to understand that it is the address that is important, and also the scope. So within a particular scope or within the particular function, within the particular block, the variable is alive. By alive, I mean, so in block 3, memory is allocated here. Okay. Memory is allocated here and stored, and in that memory location 8 is stored and it is printed. So when this block ends, it is no longer available to the compiler. Now the compiler gets this where, not this where, getting it by this particular address. So please pay careful attention to this piece of code, because it gives you idea about what a scope of a local variable is, and also the addresses of the variables. Okay, so from now on, whenever you handle a particular variable, you can also print its address. Okay, so that you will get to know that how internally it is handled if you are interested. Okay, so this is an example which I constructed myself, so it is not in any book. So this I constructed out of curiosity, and see it turned out to be an eye opener, right, to all of us. I hope you enjoyed this example, and you should run it and make some changes to it, and you will be able to find the different nuances associated with it. So why I am spending so much time on such things? Because these are building blocks towards your concept of learning C. Once these concepts are clear, you can do anything with C. But if you have any doubts in, at these stages, then as you go on, as you pile on the knowledge, it will be hard for you to handle. Okay. So this was about the auto variables. Okay. Let's look at something else. So you please try to run this course. I will upload the course. Please pay attention to what I am saying. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I can try to answer them to the best of my ability. Okay, we talked about auto block also, no? Okay, let's, so we already encountered a global variable. Where did we see a global variable? Can anyone say me? Yes, volume.c, right? That was the code we did. So let's look at a program which will help you to differentiate between the scope of a global variable and a local variable, which is also an auto variable. So I have written this code already to save time of the class. Okay, so this is a simple example. You see that these are two functions, function 1, function 2, and this is a global variable. So so when a variable is global variable, when it is declared and of course initialized outside all the functions. So it is outside main and it is outside function 1 and function 2. So this is a global variable. And in main, you see what I am doing? I am printing value in main var. So you see that in main, I have not declared var. So I am trying to use this var. Okay. And in function 1, I am doing a local declaration, var1, var equals to 1. So as by this time it would have been clear to you. So the scope of this var1 is this function only. It is not accessible before this, it is not accessible after this. So here we will get we would be able to access this var only because the names of the variables are different, same. So this instance, so here name is important. In the previous example, it was not. Here the name is important. Okay. In function 2, I am printing var, but I have not initialized or I have not declared var. So here I am looking to access the global variable. So let's run this code and see what happens. So in main, what I am getting? So the value of the global variable was 5, right? So value in main is 5. So there is no var in main, right? This is the same. The global variable var which I'm trying to access is main. Access in main. So that is 5. But in function 1, value in function 1 is 1 because here local variable, the local variable var is accessed. Similarly, similar to what we did in main, we did in function 2. Here I have not initialized or declared var. So here also the global variable var will be printed, will be accessed. So please keep this in mind that so when a global and local variable, sorry, where did I write this? Okay, yeah, doesn't matter. So for a local and global variable, if we have the same name, then the local variable has more priority. So the local variable is used But if you don't use a local variable, then if there is a global variable by the same name, that variable will be used. So let's make a change in the program. So let's not use this. In function 1, I'm not using the local variable. Then see what happens. So as I mentioned, that auto is a default keyword which you do not place before a particular variable. It will be auto by default. So that's why auto is never used. Even if you, it doesn't matter if you put auto, I mean before that or after, but it is not allowed before a global variable. Keep that in mind. So
Yes,
if
sir.
I run this code, is it running? If I run this code, you see function value in function 1 is 5 now. It's not 1 because now it is accessing the global variable. So for local and global variable, I repeat, the local variable has the highest preference. Local variable always has the highest preference, okay, irrespective of the other variables present. And here name matters. In the previous example, name did not matter, right? Here name is important. If the compiler sees that there is a variable of the same name as a global variable, but declared as local, then it will give the local variable priority over the global variable, okay? There is another type of variable. So we talked about a local variable and a global variable. So to be more precise, we talked about the auto variable and we talked about the global variable, right? There is another very interesting type of variable that is called a static variable. Let's show you one example. So did I write a code on this? Let me see. Yeah, there is a code. Yeah. Pay attention to this, please. So in main, there is no function, there is no variable declared or initialized. I mean, I mean, there can be a declaration without initialization, of course. So in, I mean, if you write int a and colon, that is also fine. But I'm not sure when the memory allocation is taken place. So when it is, so I think it is dependent upon the compiler. I mean, compiler marks this variable a that some memory is, I mean, needed to be allocated. Then when you assign, no, I think whenever you write int a colon, I think the memory address is allocated to it. I think, but I'm not sure because I'm not looked at the, I mean, compiler code, and basically none of the books has this answer. So these are very final level details. So yes, so these are two functions, function 1 and function 2. And what are these functions? In function 1, there is a local variable int var equal to 0, var equals to 0. And so okay, what does this mean? So I will, okay, let's change the code. Okay, it is var equal to var plus 1. I have not covered this, so let's change. Okay. So I'm incrementing var by 1 and I'm printing var. In function 1, I'm doing the same thing in function 2, except that this is a static variable. What is a static variable? I will answer this shortly. First, let's execute the code. So I'm calling function 1 thrice, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so each time it is called, variable var is incremented and its value is printed. And I'm calling function 2 thrice. Function 2 also thrice in this order. And I'm doing the same thing, incrementing var and printing var every time. Okay. Let's see what happens. When function 1 is called, you see every time 1 is getting printed. Function 1, 1, 1, 1. Because when function 1 is called, this variable is actually created. It was not there before. Within this scope, it is created, right? Because the compiler, when this function is called, the compiler now allocates memory for it, initializes it to 0, increments it, and it prints it. So every time this happens. So every time it is initialized to 0 and it is incremented, and that increment value is printed. So every time it is 1, right? In function 1, every time it is 1. But in function 2, it is getting incremented, because this is a static kind of variable. Static kind of variable is a special kind of variable. So which is created when the function within which it was declared is invoked for the first time or called for the first time. So unlike a local variable, static variable is not destroyed until the program ends. So whenever function 2 is called for the first time, memory is allocated for var. It is initialized to 0, it is incremented, and it is printed. But when it is called for the second time, this operation is not done, because var is already created, and still, since it is static, the compiler will not try to create it again. It will use the existing version. It will increment var, and it will be printed, and you see that in the second calling of the function 2, it is incremented to 2. So var is not a global variable. It is not a variable which is outside. It is inside, and it is a part of function 2 only. And when function 2 is called for the third time, before this the value was 2, right? And after this the value is 3. So this is a very interesting function. Oh, sorry, variable. And let's, yeah, so yeah, I'm not done yet. Let me try to do this. So this is I'm doing for the first time in my life, so I don't even know what's going to happen. So let's do this and see what's happening. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is quite interesting. You see that every time function 1 is called, this variable is this variable is created, but it is not the same variable. This variable is created several times, but somehow the compiler is allocating the same memory address to this variable. So these are 3 different instances of the variable. So ideally 3 different memory addresses could have been allocated, but for some reason it is allocating the same memory location at each instance of creation of var in function 1. This is a local variable, but this, I think in some compilers these values will be different, because these are 3 different creations of var. But as expected in function 2, the same memory address will be there naturally, because it is var2 is created for the first time in function 2 when it is called for the first time. Then the same address is same variable, same address is used. So let's run it once again, see what's happening. It's doing the same thing anyway. So there is something called locality of reference. Locality of reference, which means that if a particular variable is used several times in a function, the operating system sometimes allocates a particular memory, location for it. So it is possible that that is the thing which is happening for the variable in function 1. So there is there is a particular kind of memory that is called a cache memory. Cache memory is the fastest memory, and sometimes this happens. So anyway, let's not worry about the address right now. But if you look at the results, the values are getting changed. The value of var is getting changed. The value of in function 2, it is getting changed. In function 1, it is not getting changed. So every time it is created afresh, it is initialized afresh, and it is printed afresh. But function 2, it is created and initialized only once, and it is getting printed and it is getting updated. Yes.